Hey everyone. Ooh, that came in a little bit hot.
Hey.
Let me turn off that.
Where are we? Oh, there we are.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Craft Parenting Podcast. Podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem. And we are actually here. We're live.
We're doing it live.
We're alive, I said.
Oh, we are alive.
Yes,
somehow.
Because we haven't done podcasting in a minute.
It's been a hot second.
I got sick. And then
I've been running a lot.
Yeah, life has been happening. So we are here. We're on this beautiful Sunday. I guess spring.
Spring is in the air.
Spring afternoon. I guess it's technically winter.
It is still winter.
But it's going to feel like spring here soon.
Mm-hmm.
So we are here. If you are here, make sure you say hi in the chat. I'm going to make sure it says live chat instead of recent chat or top chat.
Yeah.
Don't want any algorithms filtering my chat.
Good call, Joe. Did you turn it off?
I did not turn it off.
There it goes.
And we have the reactions on, so woohoo. Yeah, this is a great idea. This is a fantastic idea.
It's gonna be so much fun.
By the way, my name is Joe. This is my lovely wife and co-host Caroline.
Hi.
Welcome to the Craft Parenting Podcast. If I haven't already said that, we are discussing New England IPAs with fireworks, apparently.
It's exciting. It's our transition.
I guess. So we were talking about New England IPAs.
These are all technically hazy IPAs. They don't say New England, but
isn't that the same thing?
Pretty much. Okay, we should open up your number one.
So we have 3 beers, and we're sharing them.
The kids are napping, so we should be good.
Oh, you put that out there. Okay.
They're pretty tired. Not as tired as me. I ran 2 miles this morning.
You run 2 miles every morning now.
I do. I've gotten my time. I've shaved like 3 minutes off my mile time. I'm very proud of me. Now I just need to start adding in more distance. But that requires me having more than like 30 minutes to go for a run. So we'll get there.
You do 2 miles in 30 minutes. I might actually have to turn that off if it keeps doing that.
I don't know how we get the balloons. That's all I want is the balloons.
Well, I don't know how to do the balloons.
It worked for me. So our first beer is a Hazy Beer Hug Hazy IPA from Goose Island Brewing and is 6.8% ABV. So I think we've talked about this beer on the podcast before. The way we acquired it was Joe was having a day, and so his mom decided that he needed a hug. So
no, it was my birthday.
Oh, it was your birthday.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been in there for a while then.
I wasn't going to say that, but okay. I think all these have been in the refrigerator for a minute.
It's been a minute.
So this is how we get rid of the beer that is old.
We categorize it and then do an episode.
Yep.
No, I already did this. So she found this beer that had hug in the name, and she was like, perfect. I want to give my son a hug. Her son who does not like IPAs.
Well.
But it's good. So Goose Island's website says it is bright, sunshiny haze. This hazy IPA is packed with notes of peaches, white grapes, and guava. Sip it on the beach or on your porch. It tastes just like a bright, sunshiny haze. It's going to be a bright.
This is a good spring beer.
It is. And it's like, so we had 2 different topics that we could go with today. I chose this one half because I had already done research for it from a previous time we were going to try to do this episode. And the other half because it's basically spring outside right now. So it fits.
It's going to be 70 tomorrow.
I'm excited.
I guess the high.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun.
So the hops are Amarillo, Galaxy, and Nelson. And it contains wheat as an allergen. And you can buy it in a 19.2 ounce can. You can get it as a tall boy.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. There's also a neon bear hug. What?
Is it the same one?
It's similar, but different.
Okay, then.
It's 7%. So it's got a whole more 0.2%.
Yeah. So Goose Island is from Chicago. They were
Bought out. Womp womp.
They were one of the OGs. I like as far as craft goes. Like they're pretty old, I think, like 90s.
Born in Chicago, 1988, according to the can.
Okay, 88. So right around the time Great Lakes started. I guess Boston beer was a little before that. Maybe. I don't exactly know my history, but this is one of the OGs as far as craft beer in the new age goes. They were bought out by Anheuser-Busch InBev. Boo. They're famous for their barrel-aged
Black Friday release.
Black Friday.
BCBS.
Yeah. And they have different variants.
Yeah. Bourbon County. The Bourbon County Barrel Series.
Yeah, that's what they're known for.
Yeah, and they've been doing that since 1992.
Outside of Chicago, I should say, that's what they're known for. We went to Chicago. I have cousins up there. We went to Chicago probably 10 years ago at this point. More than that, maybe. Just to like see. We went to a Cubs game. We actually went to a Cubs versus Reds game.
It was great.
And we brought my cousin
and
his
it was
wife.
when Chapman was there, so it was a long while ago.
This was probably 2011, so more than 10 years ago. My cousin's wife was born and raised in Chicago.
Literally in Wrigleyville.
Yeah, so she's a hardcore Cubs fan. My cousin, born and raised in Cincinnati, hardcore Reds fan. So when we had the opportunity to go, we stayed at their house and stuff. Mm-hmm. It was an interesting time there. And that was when they had the rooftop stands and stuff still.
Yes.
I think they've since gotten rid of that. Mm-hmm. But we went out to dinner, and I think we drank Goose Island. I don't know.
Probably. We were at some sports bar. I remember that much.
We were outside, yeah.
Yeah. They have kids like... At the time, like their kids were ish the same age as our kids are now. So it was crazy town.
Yeah.
And now those kids are huge. So.
Well, they're old.
Yeah. I don't like it.
That's what happens. That was like 10 years ago. More than 10 years ago. So we drank Goose Island there, and it was good. I liked it. I just never have really sought it out.
No.
Even after they got bought out. Like no hard feelings, but I mean, it just wasn't. Oh, their Christmas. I used to buy their Christmas. Mm-hmm. But then we got all these craft beer breweries in Cincinnati, and I'm like, well, I would rather drink local than the Chicago one.
Yeah, it was like the same time Goose Island was really coming into the area was when breweries were starting to get bigger in Cincinnati. So it was, oh yeah, I could get that 312 beer, or I could get something from Mad Tree, and I'd rather get the something from Mad Tree.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like if you go to a dive bar, there's a decent chance that like they've got Goose Island as their craft beer on tap. 'Cause I feel like that's happened to us once or twice, but we don't really go to bars either. Like if we're going to go out to drink, we end up at a brewery because usually the brewery has food and the kids are okay to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. So the beer is, I'm not a huge IPA person.
You're going to love this episode.
Yeah. I do have some Gill, West Side Gill.
Mm-hmm. West Side.
To wash this down with. I'm supposed to be grilling, apparently.
We did not check to make sure that we have propane. I'm pretty sure we do. I think we ran out at Lily's birthday party, and then we got more after that, so we should be fine.
I hope so.
If not, we got 2 ovens. It's fine.
Yeah. So, not a huge fan of IPAs. But if I had to choose, I guess I would choose the New England or the hazy IPA, depending on how you would, what you would call it.
Yeah. So the big difference between like a West Coast IPA and a hazy IPA is when the hops are added. So with a West Coast IPA, the majority of your hops are added during the kettle boil. So you get a lot of those bitter flavors off of your hop variety, versus with a hazy IPA, your hops are added during fermentation, so on the cold side, and since they steep a lot longer, you get more, not necessarily like balanced flavors, because balance is all depending upon what you do with your malt. But you don't get as much of the bitter characteristics of the hop. You get more of the florals from it, which is why it ends up being juicier, and it adds a little bit more to the body of the beer, which is what gives you a smoother mouthfeel.
And it's hazy too.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Which,
Someone's texting me. That's why I was
so
doing that. I don't know if
my train of thought.
Haziness.
Yeah. You can filter it, but most people don't. So like sometimes you do need to like mildly roll the can, or you'll end up with some floaters. But like this is actually a pretty clear hazy. I didn't do my whole like shtick on what's it look like, because I can like almost see Joe through this. And actually, I can see Joe through it.
Well, it's also like 7 months old.
It's a little old.
Yeah. Probably 6 months old.
So it's got a straw color to it. I think we were supposed to enjoy this before December 14th of 23.
Well, is that the last one?
I don't think so. I'll have to look.
Well, okay. So we have 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
We only have one that's local, actually.
We do only have one that's local.
Shame on us, I guess.
We don't really buy a lot of hazy IPAs, or I will, but it'll mostly be in the summer. And then we end up with them still in the fridge. I'm pretty sure this one we at least mildly set aside for this.
So the next one is Seeing Colors by Mad Tree. It's a hazy IPA. This is their brand new, well, relatively new, all-round beer. I'm pretty sure they are serving it all round.
Uh-oh, somebody's here.
Someone's here.
Yeah.
The Gnarly Gnome.
Uh-oh.
I cannot read that.
I will pull it up on my phone. How about that? The computer is so far away. Nope. That's not what I'm going to do. Okay.
Weird
Stuff the yeast does to the hops and hazies. And you can still drink it after the date. You're just not allowed to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Joe's not enjoying any of these beers. I am. Ooh, this one smells super juicy still.
Yeah, when did we get invited to the matchery thing? Was that in, I feel like that was Q4, like October-ish.
This was canned on October 30th of 2023.
So November-ish.
Yeah. And Matta's face is what the funny thing is that they put on the bottom of the can.
Alrighty then.
So
this is completely different than the Goose Island one.
This is way more juicy. There's a lot more on the nose still.
Oh, I can kind of taste the grain. That's a little interesting.
I truly cannot see Joe through this. This is definitely a hazy beer.
IPA, yeah.
Not just we called it hazy.
Oh, yeah. We already read that one.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I think we're still allowed to enjoy this one. Because I don't think it says anything about you can't enjoy it.
Are we asking the can permission?
No, the can does not get to dictate my life.
So I don't know if you can see the can art, but it's
pretty rad.
It's something else. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I want to know how to get the balloons back because I do not remember.
You can Google it. Google balloons.
I don't feel like doing that though. You can do that. I'll do that for the next time. How about that?
For the next time.
Yeah.
There's a whole list of things that gestures you can do. So
it's like a wipe one. No.
No. What? I wonder if it will recognize the Alexandria rock on.
I don't think so.
No. By the way, Julia gave us this cup, right? Mm-hmm. At the Gnarly Gnomes event at Darkness.
Yep, Big Sis 2023. And I am rocking an Ohio Pint Day 2022 glass.
They didn't have one did they have one for 2023?
They did. I just didn't make it to a brewery to get one for last year.
Yeah, too bad. Shame on us.
Eventually I'll get another one.
So we already kind of talked about this beer, but it still holds up.
Mm-hmm. This might be our last can.
Yeah, that tracks. I don't hate this one either.
No, this one's super juicy.
This is more flavorful than the Goose Island, but I think that's more our fault.
I'm not so sure though. With how clear it was, like I could see it settling out a bit, but then like one of us would end up with like a at the end of it, and we did not. That was very descriptive.
I have no idea what you just said.
Like there'd be a bunch of gunk in the bottom of the can, and there's not. So I don't think that it like settled out.
Oh, the sediment?
Mm-hmm.
Like the sediment? I'm just talking about the flavor. Like there was barely any flavor.
Mass produced. I don't know. Maybe they don't care as much. This is really good though.
I think it's like 9 months old, almost 6 months old.
Yeah.
However much old it is.
I mean, I'm drinking this one really, really fast though, compared to the Goose Island.
Yeah, I can definitely taste more of the hops in Seeing Colors.
And Seeing Colors is 6.5% ABV because I don't think that we said that. Their description is, seeing is believing. Hazy and full of tropical, juicy flavors, this IPA is as smooth as they come, brewed to maximize all the fruity notes from hops without any of the bitterness to be your go-to craft beer. The hops are Eldorado and Citra, and these guys also list the malts, which are Two Row Brewers, White Wheat, Oak Flates, and Carapils.
Alrighty then.
The white wheat might be why it's super golden.
Kind of tastes like greeny, like I can kind of taste the wheat, that's not a flavor that I've ever had before.
Mm-hmm. Well,
in a beer.
Not that like West Coast IPAs are not a balanced beer, but New England IPAs, they typically put in a little bit more malts to get a more smooth flavor. So it's not as hop forward, even though like all of that flavor that you're getting, where it's like, ooh, this is a little orangey. There is zero orange in this beer. It's just the characteristic of the hop.
Yeah. That also might be our fault because it's a little bit old. But
I mean, I kept a can of OG Fiona around for like 2 years, and it was still kind of okay. Do I recommend doing that? No. Can you do it? Yeah.
no.
You can cellar anything. Though I did see
You were not cellaring it. You forgot about it.
I got pregnant.
That too.
I did see a meme, and it was like
It was more than 3 years.
it was a storm. It was like a storage room in a basement, and it was full of beer, and it was this old man with a walker, and he's like with his son, and he's like, one day all of these whales will be yours. Please drink your cellar. I have seen too many videos of like shelves collapsing.
Yeah.
Or like, I let this beer sit for 6 years, and now it's terrible. Drink your beer. Enjoy your beer. It's not a bottle of wine at the bottom of the Titanic. Like, it doesn't have a super high value. You bought it to enjoy it.
Would you drink a bottle of wine from the Titanic?
So some people did, and spoilers, it was red wine vinegar. It was no longer like wine. So, yeah, the longer it sits, the more bad things can happen to it.
Well, there's no light. I mean, they basically cellared it.
And it's super temperature controlled because it's the bottom of the ocean.
Well, it probably was a little bit too cold.
Probably. But, yeah, dude.
And did they retrieve this in a vessel controlled by a Nintendo game controller?
It was, I think it was Logitech. Or was it, I think
well, whatever
it was
controller.
some knockoff controller that like has terrible reviews anyway. Before all of this started, no, this was like a decade ago. This was so long ago.
So that was probably, let's see, Titanic was 1900 something.
Hey, Elijah.
Oh, we have people listening to us.
We do. We're glad you're here.
Yeah.
It's very good that we did not do this during the recording with Elijah because I would have been the best.
We are.
It's so fun when the fireworks are behind us.
Yeah, it's smart. It knows that,
there's two people and there's background.
I did not.
It said you did it, so it's all your fault.
So we are drinking New England IPAs, Elijah, in case you didn't already know that.
I'm almost done with
You're already done. Okay. So you talk, and then I will, I guess, drink this.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can go into this next beer because it's a trip and a half. I have never been to this brewery. This is Half Day Friend from Blockhead Beer Works. I learned that gas stations in Indiana do not serve beer. Or at least most gas stations in Indiana do not serve beer. Because we stopped at a gas station to get gas before we ended up at our hotel on a work trip. And we're like, oh, well, we'll just all get out, stretch our legs, pick up some beer, and then head to the hotel. Well, joke's on us. There is literally no beer in the entire gas station. But 50 yards away, there's a liquor store. So we go to the liquor store, and everybody's picking out what they want to get. Excuse me. And so I start walking around trying to figure out what's local and what sounds good today. And if there's anything that sounds good that other people would like to share. So I found Blockhead Beer Works from Valley. I'm going to have to look at the can to say how it's pronounced. Because I think I'm adding in an L. Indiana does have very dumb laws about beer.
Valparaiso, Indiana.
Yeah, something like that. So this is a 6.8% beer. It is double dry hopped, brewed with Citra, Mosaic, Azaka, and Yukonot hops for flavorful finish. And this beer is currently not available.
Probably seasonal.
It is not seasonal.
Oh.
But because I tried to look for it in their seasonal stuff thinking that it would be seasonal. I did drink this on an episode of the Weekly Pint. Like, not one that it was on, just one that we were, like, hanging out and harassing the gnome on.
You sounded like you were a guest on the Weekly Pint.
We help make the show what it is. If we're not there, who gets to derail him and completely change the topic so he can't...
Elijah says Indiana has dumb beer laws.
Yes.
Laws about beer.
They really do. And like we've talked about...
I think they're just outdated.
Yeah, like we've talked about this before on the podcast where there was there was a gas station that was trying to get the ability to serve beer. And the state was like, nope, you can't do that. You're too close to the highway. And he's like, 50 feet away from me is a liquor store. Like, what's to stop them from opening up a bottle of Smirnoff, like vodka, and chugging?
It doesn't have a date on it.
It doesn't. And maybe it's like every other can had a date on it. I picked this up in September. So it's probably ish the same age as the Goose Island, but I'm not sure because I don't know how well this liquor store like rotates their stock. And since Blockhead's website doesn't say like, oh yeah, this is when this beer is in season or this is the last time we canned it, I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah. This beer is closer to the Goose Island than the Mad Tree. It's definitely hazy.
It's definitely super hazy. Has a nice floofy head. They've all had white heads.
As far as the hop profile, though, Mad Tree was more in your face. Mm-hmm. The Mad Tree one is probably newer. So
Potentially, yes.
Again, that might be our fault.
Whoops-a-doodle.
It's definitely smooth and... I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of like it when the hops fall off, to be honest. Because like I said, I'm not an IPA guy. So the hops in the IPA, that's kind of what turns me off on them. So when they fall off a little bit, they make it more bearable.
Yeah, and like New England's can be kind of like that gateway-ish IPA of if you find the right one... Hey, you're getting some of that hop profile, but it's more juicy, so it's not as in your face. And then slowly we'll turn you over to the bitter side.
Yeah.
Though you've been pretty consistent on not being a huge fan of West Coast IPAs.
Well, I'm very choosy about where I spend my money. I mean, I don't despise it. Like if you were to give me one, I would drink it. Mm-hmm. But if I had $7 or is beer $7 these days? $8?
It was $10 for a 6-pack today.
That's a 6-pack. So if I go to a brewery and I have X amount of dollars, I'm gonna go for what I like versus, what I know I don't like.
Though it is Girl Scout cookie season now. And if you get me with a flight Girl Scout cookie pairing, I am hooked. I will drink whatever you want me to.
Why don't we do that as an episode? But I don't know what we would pair what with. We could we just
man.
Okay, I think Taft's did it. We could just probably copy them.
There's literally 3 or 4 breweries nearby.
Oh yeah, I'm
that are
sure
doing that right now.
Yeah.
And I want to go. I bought my first box of Girl Scout cookies today. I am very proud of myself. I did not order in advance.
We'll just do it ourselves. Why do we need to go somewhere to do it? We can buy the Girl Scout cookies. We can buy the beer.
Well, I'm saying like we can like copy paste what other people are doing, but like choose
like as far as styles.
Yes, but like choose the beers that we want to do it at. I think Westside might actually have a night where they have a Girl Scout cookie pairing. I'm not sure. A few breweries are definitely doing that though. But pro tip, whenever you are at a booth buying cookies, ask them what it is that they're going to do with their money. Sometimes you get some pretty funny responses. Like today, the girl said $6. And then everybody else laughed and said, no, that's not what she asked. Different question. Because she had been working for the last 2 hours. So she had forgotten that people would ask other questions. Because that's how much box cookies is. And so they're going to go to an overnight at the aquarium, which I told them is super fun. And I highly recommend. And they might go to Great Wolf Lodge. But that was one girl was super gunning for it. And everybody else was like, we might not do that. She's like, I'm putting it out into the universe.
How old were they?
They were juniors, so they would have been in 4th and 5th grade.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Yeah, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade are juniors.
Alrighty then.
So we will probably crush a box of Girl Scout cookies after we're done recording. And by we, I might mean me. I don't know.
I like the new one. I don't know what they're called, but it's like a white tan box.
Adventurefuls.
Yeah.
That's like a chocolate cookie with caramel in it, I think.
Uh-huh.
They are really good.
They're really rich. Mm-hmm. And, someone is stirring.
That is Lily. She's not wanting to get out of bed, though. I think she's trying to get comfy.
No, don't wake up your brother.
She usually doesn't. Oh, nope. He might be up too. Okay. So, hazy IPAs. I think that they're super delicious. Joe is still on the fence. Maybe we can do 4 more of these episodes, and then you will have no choice.
No, I'd rather drink the Gill, the German Irish lager from
West Side.
Thank you, Caroline. Did they roll over?
They are thinking about going back to bed. I don't know. It's so cute. So now they have slumber parties where we had a whole weekend where Lily slept in Elliot's room all weekend long. And we just called it a slumber party because we're like, all your stuff's in here already. I think it was when Joe was sick. And I was like, it's so much easier just to put you both down at the same time in the same room. Lily, do you want to wake up in your bedroom? No. Okay, sweet. You'll wake up in his room.
Every once in a while, they'll sleep in the same bed, but
it's so cute when they do that.
We have a recliner. We purchased 2 recliners from before we had kids. Mm-hmm. Probably back in 2016, because we remodeled the bottom floor of the old house.
Yep.
And we turned it into a library.
It was going to be a library / craft room.
Yep.
But none of the slashes ever happened.
It was, we had IKEA bookshelves and 2 recliners. And they gave us these...
end tables for free, which is nice.
For free, yeah, at Furniture Fair. So we had these 2 chairs we could, sit and read. We never did that. However, they became in handy because now we have 2 full-size recliners in the kids' room. So if we want to, we can, we can.
It's great when the kids are sick because you can recline and have them mostly vertical and you're comfy enough to at least get an hour or 3 of sleep. And they're comfy enough where half the time we're like, why did we even bother buying you a bed? Because they willingly and will demand to sleep in the chair.
Yeah, so Elliot is sleeping literally in the chair. He's sleeping with the chair up.
With the legs out, so he's less likely to fall out.
And then he's sleeping arm to arm.
Yeah, and Lily will do the same thing. She'll go through a month period where all she'll want to do is sleep in her chair. They're really comfy. But so Elijah says that DIPA was how his wife got into IPAs, and then went to New England IPAs, and then she got into West Side IPAs. Which makes sense.
West Coast.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I am West Side.
The Tippa from Westside is like really good.
It's
like there's
very
like
dangerous.
it's very dangerous, very smooth. It's kind of sticky and juicy.
Because
Like-
of the hops.
But it you cannot taste the hops, which is why I like it.
You can't taste the bitterness of the hops.
Okay, you can't taste the bitterness.
Because all
Fine.
that flavor is the hops.
You know what I'm saying.
I do.
But it's really good. I don't know if I've had their Tippa.
We have had their Dippa. We just don't get it as much. Because if they have Tippa, we're going to get the Tippa.
Well, I don't think I've ever purchased the Tippa.
I feel like I have once. Or like I'll get it at the brewery if I'm allowed to be the one that drinks a lot.
I think they went back to sleep, so we will continue this party on for a few minutes.
Yeah.
More minutes.
Do you want me to get you the gill, and then you and Gnome and potentially Elijah can argue about what gill means?
We
was
already
pretty
covered.
funny.
We already covered what gill means. It's
I said what it was in the chat, and I got ignored.
no.
And I have feelings about that.
Marco said what it was, and he got ignored. I feel like. Uh-oh.
Gnome. That's what I said before.
All right.
Vamp.
The German Irish lager from Westside is probably one of my favorites. I am definitely not alone in that because there have been years where they release it earlier and earlier each year. And there have been years where they've been, whoopsie, they ran out before St. Patrick's Day. So they brew this specifically for St. Patrick's Day, but this year they released it in like January.
So I feel like last year so last year this did happen. We went to Westside to do a flight of all of their St. Patrick's Day beers, and they were already sold out of like 2 of them. And they're like, we saved 2 kegs because we had to. And we're about to brew more gill because we have to. Because you guys have drank us out of all of them.
Yeah, I would imagine that it probably takes a minute to brew. So yeah, it's one of their I feel like Westside is just on fire right now. I feel like they're doing really well.
They are really good.
We were at the Beers, Booze, Bonks, and I don't know if he was a volunteer or a rep, but he's like, yeah, last year we purchased, X amount of dollars of equipment and we're already maxed out.
It's a good problem to have.
They're doing they seem to be doing really well. And then now they have the restaurant, which
The partnership with Gilligan's.
yeah, they're brewing the beer. I don't know if they're brewing it. I don't know where they're brewing it.
Probably in Westwood. I haven't been to Gilligan's though. Gnome can chime in because
I would imagine they're brewing it in Westwood, but they're basically out of space. So they have to like purchase, some warehouse somewhere or something to, or maybe contract brew it. I don't know.
Catch Fire Pizza is going to open up soon at Westside.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that too.
And I thought at one point they were supposed to open up like a rooftop.
That's the next phase.
That's the next phase. Is that still happening?
Yes, that will be when the kids will be old enough that we can like hang out on the rooftop for like a few hours. Because we'll be able to like have more stuff that will keep them occupied versus the like hour that we get right now.
Yeah.
But I foresee a lot of Dora-ine this summer in Westwood, which I am excited about. Get some pizza, get some garlic knots.
Yeah, assuming
go to the park.
I hope it does well. The Catch a Fire. I know they're supposed to have more than pizza, so that's nice. Hopefully they'll have like a salad or something. I know Nations has a salad that I like.
Yeah. So I recently took training at work, which meant that I was eating out every meal for like a week. And I got so many fancy salads that I was like, this is the best. And then since I've been running, I've just been like irrationally hangry. But I'm working on that now. I'm getting better at it.
So why are you running? Do you want to talk about why you are running?
So yeah, I got roped in to doing the flying pig relay. I said I would do it if the fourth person said that they wouldn't do it, but then the fourth person was never asked, and I said that I would do it. So I'm doing leg 3 of the flying pig relay, which is the longest leg. It's 7.5 miles, but is also like mostly downhill / flat. And from what I have heard from the flying pig group that I joined on Facebook, is the fun leg of the flying pig because it goes through Marymount, which is apparently a party during flying pig. So I'm excited for that.
Like, explain that.
So there's various legs of the relay.
Okay.
The first leg is okay, but it's like the start of the race.
It starts at like 4, right?
It starts at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
That's when I'm pretty sure it's 6:30. I have to verify all my times because I think I have to be at a bus at 6:10. Even though like I probably won't start until closer to 8. But I need to make sure I get there before streets get closed. So the first leg gets you like up, and then the second leg is all up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then the third leg is like down / flat through Marymount. And then the last leg is all Central Parkway, which is just a desolate wasteland.
It's pretty flat, though.
It's pretty flat, according to the Flying Pig group. So I have leg 3, which gets bacon at the end of it. I learned that too. So arguably, I have the best leg of the Flying Pig to run.
Wait, you get bacon? Or
Yes.
does the Flying Pig people get bacon?
I get bacon as part of the Flying Pig people.
Okay. So why is it a party? Like there's just a bunch of
like
peanut gallery?
Yeah, they come out, they have signs, they whoop-de-doo it up and stuff. So
They don't do that anywhere else.
not as much, I guess.
I guess it would be hard to do that on Columbia Parkway.
It would be very hard to do that on Columbia Parkway.
So
we're doing Bachfest weekend. We're going to do the 5K. I'm going to mildly abandon Joe for that because he's going to walk, and I'm trying to keep my pace up.
all right. I didn't realize that, but okay.
I told you about it like a week ago, and you said you were fine with it. And then we're going to do the 50 West Mile. We're not going to be crazy and do any races on Saturday. And then Sunday morning, in order of running, I think it's Marco, Julia, myself, and the gnome.
And
we're supporting Chris as he does it. But like I still have lots of questions about how the relay works as far as like, do I have to wait until Marco gets there for me to start running? Or is it that all of the relay people start at the same time?
I would imagine you're supposed to wait until Chris.
I don't know. I don't know how any of this works.
And are we sure that Chris signed up?
Chris bought his bib. So Chris is signed up. Now, does that mean that Chris can't like turn over his bib to somebody else? No, but Chris got a bib. He's going to do it. Worst case scenario out of this, I become fit. I don't even know if Gnome's bought tickets yet. Gnome, ticket prices go up in like 4 days. You need to do that. Please.
I think we lost the gnome.
We might have.
Oh, I think he just chimed in to tell us about the yeast.
Yeah. So Elijah said that he had a quadruple IPA at Standard Beer, and it was absurd. I have several questions. I did figure out where Standard Beer was the other day because we drove by it on our way home from Entertainment Junction.
That was Common.
That was Common. Dang it.
Standard Beer is
I figured out where Common was. That's what it was.
I think Standard Beer is an OTR. Is that right, Elijah?
Possibly.
There's a 30-second delay.
I know.
Remember?
So yes, we figured out where Common Beer Company was.
That's in Mason.
Yes.
It was in a place where we drove past it. I have zero idea. I could not tell you how to get there.
Hey, all of my mom friends, yeah, it's on West 15th Street, so that's an OTR. All of my mom friends were like, where was that park that you guys were at? Because we went to Entertainment Junction and then we went
I have no idea. I have no idea where that park was. It was in Mason somewhere.
It was...
Oh man, this is so much better than the IPAs. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, it was Pine Hills Lake Park. I think. No, that's not it. Wait, no, that is it. Yeah. Okay.
That looks like it.
It is it. I was confused because it was the toddler playground and we spent like 0 time on the toddler playground.
I didn't know they had a toddler playground.
Pine Hills Lake Park. The kids had a blast. It had remember when we were small children and there was like the merry-go-round of death where you'd have like whoever your fastest or strongest friend start the thing and then you'd all hold on for dear life. They had one of those, but it was level with the ground and had actual seats. And like one of the spots wasn't a seat. It was like a place where you could park a wheelchair and the wheelchair wouldn't roll away. The kids had a blast on it.
Yeah, they tried to jump off it.
She was working on her gross motor skills and hand-eye coordination.
I guess so.
She's growing like a weed. She needs to work on those things to be successful in life.
I guess. So I am now drinking this West Side Brewing Gill German Irish lager. It's 5.5% ABV, 18 IBUs, and they say it is our tribute to Cincinnati's heritage of both Irish and German immigrants. This mashup takes the malt recipe of a classic Irish red ale, or German lager yeast, and a mix of both traditional German and Irish hops to create a deep amber lager with light caramel and toffee flavors and a dry, clean finish. So I like this one better than all the other IPAs.
All the IPAs that we've had today, that is not an IPA.
I like it better than the IPAs, I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't say that this was an IPA.
Oh, man. That's good.
It's a lot smoother. It's roasty, a little bit roasty, caramely. It's basically, it's amber in color.
I was going to see how many of these I could get away with before you would notice.
You're scaring away our audience. We're at 53 minutes.
Yeah. So
let's try to get to an hour, and then we can.
We have St. Patrick's Day in the fridge. St. Patrick's Day beer in the fridge. We officially have Bach beer in the fridge. I drank most of a Cincinnati lager.
This beer is not going to last until St. Patrick's Day.
We're on our second 6-pack of Gill already. Now, granted, I don't think that you have broken into the second 6-pack yet, but we have purchased 2 6-packs of Gill.
I figured Dad would drink this.
He probably will.
Or he'll just drink the Coors. That's... How old is the Coors?
Your mom won't care. She asked me to buy her beer the other day, and she was like, oh, just give me like a 6-pack. And so I bought her an 18-pack. And she's like, this is a lot of beer. Why'd you do this? And I'm like, 1, you're going to drink it, and 2, it's cheaper that way. I'm just going to get you an 18-pack.
When did you do that?
Oh, the day that we went in the hot tub without you because you were sick. That's like the best part about getting off of work early. I went for a run, and then I went to Joe's parents' house and got in the hot tub. I'm thinking on Friday, I'm just going to run at your parents' house. And then I can just immediately get into the hot tub when I'm done.
I mean, they have the sidewalks. I mean, that's also part of the reason why we moved to this neighborhood is because of the sidewalks.
Yeah. But their neighborhood is all flat. So...
Because it was it was all
farmland.
Was it a cornfield? I don't know.
Probably.
cornfield or some kind of farmland.
Yeah. So I'm thinking when I get towards the end of my training, Fridays, I'll probably park up at their pool house, and then I'll just do the whole...
You can do 3 neighborhoods.
No, I can do the whole big loop at Miami Whitewater.
You can do that too.
And that'll be like 8 miles or 9 miles by the time I get... I think it's a half mile from my car to the loop. And then do the 7.5 mile loop and then get back to my car. So,
I mean, if you want to do distance, that's a good way to do it.
yep. It's going to be crazy.
For the flying pig, you don't qualify for it. It is a qualifier.
Correct. So with Flying Pig, you have to keep a 16-minute mile pace to stay, quote, on the course. But what they do is they
Did
just
they
say,
kick you off?
you can't run on the street anymore. You have to run on the sidewalk. So you don't get an escort. Because they'll slowly start opening the streets back up.
Yeah.
And then you can run along the sidewalk. And they'll still time you, but you won't be, like, officially on the course. You'll be on the road or on the sidewalk.
I wonder how, like, what's the slowest person in the flying pig, like, as far as pace goes?
I mean, the controversy was, like, there was an 8-year-old that did it a few years ago.
God, that was nuts.
It's like, well, my whole family runs them. You just did the whole thing with them.
No, that was nuts. Do not do that to an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
It's just like when you get a puppy and they say we're a part of all these dog hiking groups and stuff. And they're like, do not hike with your puppy. You're
Like, don't do long distance or super crazy hikes with your puppy until they're at least a year old. Which technically they're not a puppy anymore at that point.
Well, labs are puppies until 2. They're 2.
They also grow really funky.
They grow fast. They're typically big dogs, so they're growing until they're 2, and they're goofy and fun.
Just randomly run into stuff because, I didn't run into that yesterday.
Fall down the stairs and stuff.
My legs are longer today.
But yeah, so if you have a puppy that's growing super fast, I mean, and you're doing like 10-mile hikes with them, that's too much.
Yeah.
You'll mess up their skeleton potentially,
Yeah.
their back especially. If you have an 8-year-old, I mean, kids, they peak at puberty, 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
As far as growing goes, that's when they have growth spurts typically. You'll mess up their back or their skeleton.
So I've taken Elliot on a run once, and we made it about a mile.
He was in a stroller.
Yeah, he was in the stroller, and he did not want to go fast. So that was very problematic. I did half mile with Lily because it was snowing, and we were very cold. And she kept saying, faster, faster. And then as we were running down a hill, she put her arms up and said, woo, Kings Island.
Yeah, we got our original stroller back, which was a running stroller, right?
Yes.
The
so
single.
I'm super glad that I have it back.
The single.
But man, Lily is like 45 plus pounds of weight to push around. So it's just super resistance running. And our neighborhood is all hills. So I'm either like walking up or running down a hill. Occasionally I'm running across something that's flat. But I have not made it to the point where I can start running up the hills in our neighborhood.
Our part of the neighborhood is flat.
Yeah.
For like a minute, and then it's just hills, like you said.
So if
we're in the back of the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's about 100 feet of elevation gain between our house and the top of the neighborhood, but I feel like that's wrong, and it's like closer to 150.
Because you have your fancy watch.
I do. That does my GPS tracking to tell me what I'm doing.
Tell the fine folks what it did the other day.
Oh, it died on me twice.
No, it didn't record.
Yeah, so when I did the half-mile walk with Lily, it was almost dead, even though I thought I had charged it. Apparently, I didn't plug it in right. It was like 9 a.m. I had ran a half a mile, most of which was me moving my arm that was not attached to the stroller. It registered 15 steps for the whole morning.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what the hey, dude? So Joe was like, oh, I got so many steps a day. And I'm like, I have 1,000 less than that, but I'm pretty sure I actually have more than you.
Yeah.
Because it didn't register anything from that walk. Like it took all the distance. It plotted out my little course, but it had 0 steps for that whole walk.
I don't know.
I don't know how either. I am debating getting a new watch, but that is not currently in the budget. I need to get new tires on the van first.
You know, windshield.
Yeah.
But your car did get a bath today.
It did get a bath, which Elliot was super excited about until we were in the car wash. And then he was like, I don't like it. Make it stop. And then as we're going through the end of the car wash, he's like, again.
3-year-olds.
3-year-olds.
Yeah. Poor guy, though. We had to cancel his birthday.
We did.
Or postpone his birthday.
His birthday party's gonna be in March now, because Joe got sick. We all ended up fine, so I don't know what your problem was, but we were all.
I don't know what my problem was either, but I wasn't a fan. I just sat in bed. I almost watched an entire season of 24. Which, if you're familiar with the show, it's literally 24 episodes.
And it's ish like 21-ish hours.
Yeah, it's an hour-long episodes.
Because like they include like the time for commercial breaks.
Yeah, and everything's in real time, so it's really fun.
Yeah.
I got to like episode 20.
My favorite though was I was getting ready to put Lily to bed, and like Lily was wandering from our bathroom to her room, and at some point in that process, Joe had started 24 up again. And fortunately, after Lily had exited the room and gone into her bedroom, someone got shot in the leg. And he was like, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't watch this show around the kids. And I'm like, it's okay, Lily's out of the room now.
It's a very violent show.
It's a super violent show.
I'm surprised that was on network television. But
I don't know, man. I just live here.
Yeah, but I actually like the commercials in 24. It's part of the experience because they write the breaks.
They do. So it's like, oh, somebody's driving a car, and then you come back and they're still driving a car. It's do.
Well, they have they have individual like plot points that are, what am I thinking of? Cliffhangers.
Yeah.
They have individual cliffhangers specific for each commercial, which I guess Lost kind of did. Like other dramas do it, but I feel like 24 was like what they were the masters at it. I don't know if anyone's still watching, but
register. No, it doesn't like me anymore.
No, because you keep doing it. Oh, it did it. See?
Yay! It's so pretty.
I don't know if anyone's still watching, but Elijah and Naum, we appreciate you for tuning in for as little or as long as you did. Mm-hmm. If you are listening to this after the fact, thank you. We appreciate it. We appreciate your listenership.
Watch the video to see how many things I snuck in on OBS while Joe wasn't paying attention.
The emojis are going away next time, so I will be turning it off. You're drinking my beer.
You opened up. I don't have a beer. You have beer.
You could have gotten yourself a beer.
That's too much work.
You were literally at the refrigerator.
I have a beer upstairs. It's okay.
Yes, you do. Do you want to talk? Do you want to admit to the crowd what beer that is and how old it is?
It's the Cincinnati Liars from yesterday that I opened up yesterday and will finish today.
And it's
No
sat,
beer left behind.
it sat overnight, and I was about to pour it out, but I didn't.
I woke up with Lily and then tried to get Lily back to bed. So it.
We appreciate it. We are the
The Craft Parenting Podcast.
We are the Craft Parenting Podcast, the podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem. Thank you for being here. We will be back next time. When that is, I don't know.
Eventually.
But
Whoa! Oh, because it registered the other thumb.
oh my goodness.
Fireworks. Baby, you're a firework.
We will be back later.
I am
shortly, soon. Thank you so much for being here. We will be back next time
on the Craft Parenting Podcast.